nephrotic syndrome, membranous nephropathy, PSC, alopecia, lupus, a big willy. These are all conditions I suffer with on a day-to-day basis. Now, maybe not the last two. They're actually going to VAR for lupus. Essentially, some doctors are saying I've got that, and some are saying I've not. Now, I was going to do the big old comeback, tell you about, I was basically in one hospital for about 18 nights. Then I had an outpatient appointment at another hospital, and then they got a bed ready for me, and then another week in that hospital. So I was going to give it the old, the comeback, sad, going over everything, my experience, how it started. But this video, I'm just going to start with tips regarding nephrotic syndrome, as it can be quite difficult, to deal with it first. I'm still dealing with it, I'm just getting to the stage of a proper diagnosis and everything. But, I'm just going to go over a few tips on living with nephrotic syndrome, as I realise on YouTube it's quite tough to find little bits about. And then, basically now I've got a few weeks where I have to basically stay in. I can't do too much before my next outpatient appointment at this hospital, where I'm hopefully getting like treatment and stuff. So I've basically got a couple of weeks where I've got to do nothing. So I'm going to do plenty of videos. So I will do a video going over everything from start to finish regarding how this came on and everything like that. But for now, we're just going to talk about nephrotic syndrome. Now, I'm no doctor, but essentially, I'm not going to explain fully what it is, but I'm going to explain what you got to do with it. I should have wrote a little speech. I've not made a video in ages. I don't know if I've got a coat on indoors, but anyway, let's go over it. So, symptoms of nephrotic syndrome essentially are gaining weight. Your body retains its water as your albumin levels are quite low. Your kidneys are quite leaky, so my kidneys are leaking too much protein. There's protein in my urine in quite a large amounts, meaning my albumin levels are low, meaning I can't wee much, meaning my body holds all its water and I gain weight. Right now I am 69 kilograms. About 2 weeks ago in hospital, I was 91.7 kilograms. I had 2.5 weeks in hospital. They were just giving me water tablets. They didn't really do anything diet-wise. And again, just stayed about 91. It was absolutely horrible. Swollen from head to toe. My legs built like balloons. Downstairs area, to talk about penis swollen. You'd have thought, all these years I wanted a big willy. Finally get one, and it's just not very comfortable to live with. It's absolute agony. It really was uncomfortable, but testicles like bloody massive. Yeah, everything's just swollen. Luckily, I went to this other hospital. They were the kidney specialist hospital. This first hospital didn't really specialise in kidneys, so all they were doing was just coming and seeing me every day on this ward, giving me these water tablets, and they were doing nothing. Going to this specialist hospital, they get me hooked up to furosemide infusions because the tablets weren't really working. Hooked up, via a cannula, and that really did get me weaning. I literally lost 17 kg within 5 days being in that hospital. Fair play to them. Alongside this, now I'm home and I'm able to. They basically said I've got to have like a month at home where they run a few final more tests. I've had biopsies, I've had scans, I've had a lot. I'll go over all that. It's been very traumatic. There were days of tears. They've got to check everything to see what causes nephrotic syndrome. They think it's just membranous nephropathy, but there's so many things that cause nephrotic syndrome, really bad stuff. And they test for everything, and your mind's all over the shop. Especially whilst I was in the first hospital, I was in a room on my own for 16 nights. You'd think that'd be better than sharing, but it really wasn't. I mean, I found my mental health improved a lot when I was sharing with the people, and you have them little chats. So when you go to the toilet, you pass them and give them a nod, how you doing? Being in that room on my own for 16 nights was absolute hell. But anyway, we're going to go over the tips of nephrotic syndrome. Got over, gaining weight, fatigue, but they're just standard with a lot of health conditions. But the main concern is retaining the fluid as your albumin levels are low. your kidneys leak too much protein. So you've got to get the protein levels up. I just eat a relatively normal amount of protein each day. I mean, I know you don't want to overdo the kidneys and go and eat 200 grams of protein each day. You know, too much protein can be bad for the kidneys. So I just eat like about, I'm 69 kg at the minute, about 60 grams of protein a day. I don't really calculate it. But the tips are, so anyway, the main thing I want to go over is the low salt. Obviously, the more salt you have, the more your body wants to retain its liquid. So you've got to have an extremely low salt diet. That's something I've had to, you know. Last year, I loved a Strongbow dark fruit, a Copperberg, a Pint Stella. Got a liver condition, they take it away from me. I loved going for a haircut, they take it away from me. I love a takeaway, they take them away from me. I want a Domino's and McDonald's, KFC, I want the lot. But I can't have them, at least for now. Maybe if I get some treatment, I have no idea. You've got to eat low salt. About 0.5 grams per meal, and you're allowed maybe 0.3 to 0.4 for a snack. But this does work if you do have nephrotic syndrome. I'm on water tablets. Furosemide, where are they? Furosemide tablets to ensure I keep weighing. You know, because my kidneys aren't quite doing its job. But the low salt diet is helping a lot. I'm weighing quite a normal amount, a litre to litre and a half a day. So you want to have low salt, about 0.5 per meal, you know. Got a few examples here. We've got some shreddies. Per 40 gram serving, 0.02, so like 20 milligrams in that per serving, you know. Plenty of salads, you've got to get the right one. You've got to check everything, you know, you want it all in green. There are certain like salads, they'll be quite high. This is just 0.07, so 70 grams per half a pack, which is decent. Bread is something you might have to give up, but I did find this King's Mill here. Is it 50-50? No, it's a type, very small slices. I haven't got any bloody crusts on them. I quite like the crust, but 0.18 a slice. So, you know, for breakfast, 2 of these, some peanut butter and shreddies, and you're under your 0.5 amount. In regards to the fluid, I'm probably not drinking enough. I probably can drink more than I am, but I'm just so worried about putting this weight, and I don't have an appointment for 2 weeks. We don't want to be shooting up again in weight, so sort of just monitor. You've got to monitor your intake and your output. I actually have a jug in the toilet, measure each week. I'm weighing about a litre and a half a day, so I could probably drink about a litre and a half. Probably drinking about a litre at the minute. You should be drinking more. Probably water to hydrate me, but I've just didn't. I love like a can of Coke. I didn't get it like for like a month and a half, so I allow myself like a can a day, maybe a couple of tea each day. But be careful with your fluid, you know. Just because you're on water tablets, don't start drinking 4 litres a day. Have stuff like ice cubes, you know, ice lollipops, chewing gum to help if you get dry mouth and everything like that. Blood thinners, you're at high risk of blood clots. So every single day at 5 o'clock I have 100 gram. My mum does it for me. So I can't really do it myself. I'll probably end up killing myself and stab myself in the neck or something. Yeah, blood thinners are crucial. You're at high risk of blood clots, high risk of infection. So one of these in your belly, get a bit of the skin pinched, bang, Bob's your uncle. I was on 2 80 milligrams of them before I went to the second hospital a day, but I'm on 100 at the minute. I've got some chicken somewhere. Chicken's great, so it's good protein. We're about to drop in the camera. A normal person would edit that out, but I'm too lazy. 100 milligrams, you know, a chicken in 100 milligrams of salt in like a chicken breast or something. So chicken's great for you. Weighing, I'd weigh every morning with no clothes on. You can become quite nephrotic syndrome. You can't become quite neurotic with it. First one was home weighing about 7-8 times a day. You don't want to develop a you know, body complex or anything. So just weigh once a morning. You know, don't be too. I came home, I was about 67.5, which is low for me. I'm traditionally about 75 kg, 69 at the minute, so I'll put on 1.5. But it's clearly, by the way, the amount intake and outtake, you know, it's not fluid. I think it's just because I'm eating a bit more in hospital. You don't get much food. I'll probably up my calories quite a bit. But yeah, we'll do that. I'll go over everything, you know. It was a really traumatic time. It still currently is. I mean, even last week going for PET CT scans. I had 2 biopsies, a lymph node and a kidney biopsy. You know, you had one day doctors come in suspected it's this, then I'm in tears. Then they're like, no, you know, it's something else. It's just, it was a really tough time. I'll go over in more detail. They were just some tips based on nephrotic syndrome. If you've got it, keep the salt down, keep the fluid down, weigh once a day, chewing gum, ice cubes, you know, to help. And yeah, thanks for watching.